Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Marge Pearson, and I'm here to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma. Those of you that are here in person today, and those of you that are all on Zoom. And I just got to say one thing, give me my 2 cents. We had wine and tapas last night, and we had a lovely, lovely, lovely crowd, and it was great interactions and a lot of energy felt. And I just really would love to encourage those of you that are fairly new and don't understand everything here, please come to some of these events that we have, because people are warming up, and the energy that is felt with these activities is truly, truly lovely. So I hope that even those of you that are on Zoom can come out of your homes and come to some of the events that we have here, because last night was really cool. You can see I'm getting all emotional. Anyway, so as we move on, our musicians today include Terry O'Hara on piano, with Benny Yangco on clarinet, and our special guest musician is Sunny Jo Loudin and her beautiful guitar. Our audiovisual team, Erik Perrohe in the back, along with Ron Edens, and our practitioners today are Lauralee Bentle on platform and Bev Holland holding high watch or consciousness in the back. And today's message will be given by practitioner Steve Potts. We are an inclusive, welcoming, and heart-centered community. If you're new today and are comfortable raising your hand, please do so we can welcome you. Anybody? Okay. All right. So let's take a moment to remember who we are and what we believe. The Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. We believe we embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Our vision is to create a world that works for everyone. We help to empower you to bring your dreams to life. We do this together through practicing meditation and prayer, offering a spiritual home, teaching universal spiritual principles, giving consciously, living in the present moment, engaging in a life of service, and providing a pathway to peace of mind. So a couple of announcements. The Compassionate Care team will not be meeting today, as we have a lot of things planned, so they're going to be meeting next week. Check out the classes offered this quarter. If you're just starting out, we're offering 2 separate Foundation of Science of Mind courses and 1 consciousness course, Powering Your Decisions, during the first part of 2024. All are facilitated by our dynamic practitioners. Check out the details in your program today and on the website for those tuning in online. All classes are offered on Zoom. We are offering a special workshop on January 30th with Eugene Holden, who has been writing daily words for the Science of Mind magazine for many years. This workshop happened because of our Steve Potts actions, and it is offered for a love offering. Sorry, I got new eyes, man. The CSL-Tacoma annual meeting will be held after service on February 4th. This is a good way to catch up on our growth and be a part of the action at the center. We will be voting on 2 Board of Trustees candidates as well. We are planning a women's retreat for the end of March. This will be held at Camp Cedar Ridge near Verona, Oregon, which is about 3 hours from Tacoma. It starts at dinner time March 26th and ends on Saturday, March 30th. Plan on many interactive activities and events throughout the 3 days. Room and board are included, and registration opens up on February 4th. Practitioners will be in the prayer room at the back after service, holding a prayer circle. Please join them if you are in need of prayer. And now it's time for the minister's moment with Reverend Drew.
Good morning. Let's take a deep breath in together. Arrive in this moment, for it is the only thing you will ever know to be true. The past and future are not real. How do we know that? If they're real, could you take me there right now? This is the only thing you'll ever know. Be present today. Be present in your life every moment. It really makes a difference. All right, so real quickly, Another plug for classes. If you're thinking or waffling, make a decision and go for it. It will be the best choice of your life. It changed everyone's life who's ever taken classes, including mine. It revolutionized the way I thought. It's powerful. They're reasonable, and if they are a little expensive for you, come talk to us. We can offer scholarships as well. So don't let cost be a barrier. You form community, you learn and grow like nothing else. And we have wonderful practitioners that teach, and they know a ton. So just give a little nudge and say, I'm going to go for it. So on Zoom, it's easy. Again, a good choice. Prayer afterwards, we talk about it. For those who are new, what that means is not like classic prayer. It's listening and intentionally guiding you to what you want. It's thinking about how to harness this wonderful tool of your brain and make it work for you in a creative process. And in that room back there after service, you will learn exactly how to do that. Again, we have brilliant practitioners, and that's what they do. They studied for years to learn how to do this. This is not some light thing. We didn't read a book. It's a dedicated study process. So really attach to it and find out what it's about. And then February 4th, we really encourage you to come to our annual meeting. It's a great way to find out what's going on. We have some fun things to unveil. We have some new exciting plans to share and some wonderful news about how we're growing and expanding our consciousness as a group. That's amazing. All right, gratitude. Here we go. Music that soothes my soul. The love that touches my soul. Finding a new place and all it entails. Learning from all my wins and failures. Spirit telling me to sing. That's good. Here's a plug for your choir, John. Freedom to be myself. The beautiful, energizing sunshine. Feeling welcome here. Good friends and good vibes. All the volunteers at CSL. Can we get applause for all of our volunteers at CSL? You guys are the engine that keeps us pumping along. That's great. The generosity and spirit at CSL Tacoma and the opportunity to be of service. And this center of positive energy, giving off benefits to everyone. Study Joe.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, new birds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why? There no why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I? Hear happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow. Why, oh, why can't I?
Wow. To follow that, you can fly over that rainbow. Change your thinking, change your mind. Woo! Love that. Just love that. Thank you, Sunny Joe. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And I am here to guide you through a small meditation, do a reading, and do an opening prayer for y'all. You know, I was sitting down there, and y'all know that I like acronyms, right? Well, most of you know. And I'm going to continue to wear this Joy, because that's my middle name. Not really, but I love it. It's Jump Open Y'all. Don't know where that came from, but it just came to me while I was sitting there. I know. You know, I'm sure there'll be another one, but for now, jump open, y'all. Ooh, so I'm gonna, I really am silly. I can't help myself. Oh my goodness. So let's open with, I'm gonna read something to you that I read yesterday, which just enlivened me, and I took that into my meditation, and I'd like to take it into our meditation this morning. And I'm going to read it, and I'd just like you to close your eyes and just take a deep breath as you settle in, and I read this. I can only demonstrate the love I have for myself to others. I can only demonstrate the love I have for myself to others. Such a powerful place to stand in love for ourselves, so we may show others the love that is within each and every one of you. So thank you. So today's message from my dear friend Steve is on prayer, and I'm going to read just a little bit out of the book of Science of Mind. Somebody called it the Big Book, and I have a different book that I use that I call the Big Book. So it was comical, and I loved it. So this is in Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Prayer is its only answer. Before our prayer is framed in words, God has already answered. But if our prayer
is one of partial belief, then there is only a tendency toward its answer. If the next day we wholly doubt, then there is no answer at all. In dealing with mind, we are dealing with a force we cannot fool. Change our mind, change our thinking, change our life. So we learn to go deeply within ourselves and speak as though they were presence there that knows. And we should take the time to unearth this hidden cause, to penetrate this inner chamber of consciousness. The Spirit flows through us. Prayer is the only answer. Every day, every hour, we are meeting the eternal realities of life. And in such degree as we cooperate with these eternal realities in love, in peace, in wisdom, and in joy. Believing and receiving, we are automatically blessed. Our prayer is uttered before we utter it. Our prayer is answered before we utter it. So with that, I would just like to open this beautiful service with words of gratitude, with words of unshakable faith that I stand in today, knowing that there is one presence, one way of life, and that life is a beautiful life. And today is a beautiful day to have that beautiful day. So as you go out, as you hear the message today, take what enlivens you. Take it to your heart, knowing that the heart speaks. Steve speaks from his heart. And I'm so grateful for that, and I'm so grateful for the musicians today. So with that, I just release these words into the eternal universe, knowing that they will not come back because they are already done. And with that, let us say, and so it is.
She goes on her own in her heavenly throne, in a silvery floating balloon. And the raven decides to commit the crime, to steal the light from the moon. The owl winks an eye with a shrill cry, to proclaim it the raven's a fool. And as the raven takes light, like a thief in the night, blinded by la luna, the moon, he is blinded by the light of the moon. Now it's a thrill, she dies for her kill. The raven that moment confused, as he takes his last breath, in the moment he chests that she just stole his life, but she can't steal the life decide whether I'll steal the night, but I can't steal the light from the moon. Ooh. As nocturnal magic and twilights at sin, I am filled with the sorrow and memories of him. And I beg you, Lord, to give him a clue, 'cause he can't steal my light, and you can't stake my life, and you can't steal the light from the moon. Oh, baby, I can't decide whether I'll steal the night, but I can't steal the light from the moon. I am on high in the night of la luna, forever will do. I can't decide whether I'll steal the night, but you can't steal the light. No, you can't steal the light. No, you can't steal the light from the moon. Oh, you can't steal the light. An impossible flight. Oh, you can't steal the light. You can't steal my light. You can't steal the light from the moon. Oh.
And now we're going to hear from Steve Potts. Steve Potts is a force of nature. He is living prayer in action. So when you hear what you hear today, you're hearing his decades of experience and understanding about this. So take it in, breathe it in, and let's welcome one of our amazing practitioners, Steve Potts. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, man. Force of nature. I've been called a lot of things, but I've never been called that. Before I get started, I want to echo something that Marge said, and also good grief. Laura said, sorry.
That was important, I said.
Yeah. Tell you what, that happens sometimes. It happens more often. It's kind of scary at times. Anyway, I didn't get to go to the tapas last night. We came down. We have two houses. They're small houses. No big deal. But we kept when we moved to Port Townsend, we kept our house in Port Orchard, so that when we come down here and go to church, we have a business that we run kind of out of the house there. So Gail came down first with dogs and everything like this, and I get a telephone call. And I'm supposed to fix chili last night for the wine and tapas, and I was also supposed to lead the talk. And Gail calls me. I get a telephone call, and she said, "We got a problem." And it wasn't quite that soft. It was more like panic, you know. We have a problem. We have a garage that's really a studio. It's much bigger than a normal garage. It's probably about the size, let's say, of a 3-car garage, but there's 3 rooms in there. We have all of our stuff, all of our inventory in there, some books and papers and tax records and everything like this. And she said, her husband died 10 or 15 years ago, had a dark room in there, and the pipes burst during the thing this week, and she came in, there was water coming out from underneath the garage, and it's a mess. So I called Darlene, and Darlene sits there and says, "Don't worry, I'll make your chili for you." And Mona says, "Don't worry, I'll do the thing." And Darlene says the one thing, she says, "As a matter of fact, I'm in Costco right now, and I can buy this stuff right now." Isn't that the way Spirit works? You know? But the one I really wanted to say, I was also talking to John Lloyd about something else. A lot of us, I won't say all of us, but a lot of us come into these things, into our programs, into AA or NA or into church because we feel lonely, left out, you don't understand, nobody cares, we just feel out of it, we feel separate from it. And we come here to, find communion, find community. We want to feel a part of. You know how a part feels a part of? They participate. They participate. That's what being a part is. We participate. We come to these small circles, these wine and tapas, the church service, the potlucks, the living circles that we have, and we join and we find community there. We can't find community sitting in the back room like I saw so many people at AA going, "Okay, now make me feel like I belong." Participate, get in there, have some fun. That's what this is all about. Anyway, that's my sermon for today, so I'll leave. It ain't that easy, folks. It ain't that easy. I grew up and I loved going to church. I was thinking about this when I was writing this thing. I used to go when I was a kid. My parents never really went to church. They dropped us off. Even though my father was the son of a Methodist minister, that's probably the reason he didn't go. But I loved going to church. We lived in a small town in Kentucky, and the Baptist church is 2 blocks down from us. And my grandmother used to go to the Baptist church, and my mom was raised in the Baptist church, but she became a Methodist when she married my father. And but I went to the Baptist church a couple times. I used to go as a 9, 10, or 11, 12-year-old kid to revival services by myself at the Baptist church, even though I was a member of the Methodist church. And I did that stuff by myself, but I always had these questions. I was looking for answers. I remember when I was about 6 years old, the first time, I looked at my mom and I said, I still see it, it's in the kitchen. I was at the kitchen at the sink and I said, "Mommy, if you die and you go to heaven, and Daddy dies and he doesn't go to heaven, will you still be happy?" And she looked at me, and I had questions about that for the rest of my life. Actually, until I got here. I was just constantly searching. And one of the things that I remembered this, I hadn't thought about this in years. I heard some minister told the story of 2 little boys, a little 10 or 12 or something like this, was on their way to school. And they were best of friends. They on the same baseball team. They went to the same church. They went to the same school. They did everything together. And they were just dawdling along, they didn't want to really go to school. And they heard the first bell. And they panicked because they'd been dawdling along. They hadn't done anything, like guys do. And one little kid says, "I have an idea." let's kneel down here and let's pray that we're not going to be late. And the other kid looked at him and goes, you fool. He says, I got a better idea. Let's run while we're praying. Prayer is an action word. You know, if we sit there and we think we pray for, God pay my mortgage bill, yeah, you're going to wait a long time for that to happen. I can pray that I have enough money to have, God, or I can know that I have enough money, or I know that it's going to get paid, or whatever it is, but I have to get up off my butt and go do something about it. We just can't sit there and hope that everything is going to, something else has to be added. And that's what I want to talk to you about this morning. Slide 1. We talk about prayer. There are many, many types of prayer. You want to get this? There we go. Is it coming down? Here it comes. Prayer, the most people think about prayer is they think about what we call petition prayer or, intercessory. God, get me out of this foxhole, these bells, it's a foxhole prayer. God, can I get a pony? God, can I do this? Help me do this, so on and so forth. That's how most of us think of prayer. But there are so many different types of prayer. And the first slide, whenever we're ready on that. There we go. I looked it up. That's how many, at least, there's probably some more in there that's missing. But the first two, I think, up there, I'm going to have to move down here. The first two are the prayer and petitionary and intercessory prayer. Like I said, that's what we talk about all the time. But there's all sorts of other things. And the question comes in, if we're talking to, most people think that when they grow, when they're a kid, they think of God as a Zeus-like figure, right? It's a big guy sitting up there on the mountain someplace or in the cloud someplace. He's listening to their talk, and he's going to answer their prayers. That never was satisfactory to me. I could not get that in my head. So that's one of the problems that I had when I was always asking those questions. What if, what if, what if, what if? And again, I'm going to say that I can't talk to you, about Zeus or anything like this. I have to explain what it is when I talk about God, when I talk about this thing that answers me. So there it is. We say all the time in Science of Mind, God is all there is. That's God in the middle of that circle, It's not just this man in the circle or this man on the clouds and stuff like this. It is everything. And on the outside of that circle, all there isn't. That's what I mean by God. And that doesn't make any sense to me as if it looked like that. It's the same thing. God is all there is. Okay, the clouds, the trees, you, me. This is it, right here. It's basically the universe. And one of the things about it is that when I sit there and think about this, I have to remember that I'm in the middle of that circle. If I'm not in the middle of that circle, I'm out there. I don't exist. I have to have something else to talk to. Without you, there's not a me. I don't exist. I'm not here. I hope that makes sense. There was a movie that I saw, maybe some of you have seen it, Philadelphia. Denzel Washington is this lawyer, and he's trying to find out what all the things are, the evidence is, and everything like this. He's talking to his client, and he says, explain it to me like I'm 6 years old. And that's what I had to do when I got that. God is all there is. I can't tell you about that unless I tell you about, I can't tell you how I talk to God unless I tell you what I think its nature is. God is, all of the major Western religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, all believe in this right here. God is, that's the nature of God. He's all omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. What's that mean? Omnipotence, power. God is all the power. And that's true from the standpoint of physics. They say now that that the universe is nothing but energy. Energy is nothing but power. It's that simple. There is a power out there. And it's right here. It's in this chair. It's in Marge. It's in the piano. It's in everything. Everything is made of energy. So I'm talking about when I sit there and say, okay, it's all energy. I see electricity and all that good stuff. But what else is it? It's everywhere. Omnipresence. Omnipresence. And the other thing is omniscience, and that's a toughie one. Okay? Omnipresence means essentially everything has intelligence. Everything has intelligence, and all intelligence is in everything. I'm inside that circle of omnipotence. I am all powerful when I realize it. I am everywhere when I realize it. I know everything when I realize I'm a part of it. And I guess the best way that I've ever heard that said is that if I'm a part of God, and God's nature is He's all powerful, then when I go inside myself, I have that same nature. I have that same nature as God. But I don't sit there and start thinking about me. I think about myself. I think of myself as separate from you. I think of myself as separate from the trees and everything like this. And I get around with my daily stuff and I forget it. And prayer is that thing when I come back and I realize that I'm connected. I am one with you all. I am one with the birds. I am one with the mountains. I am. That's why the Climate Change Action Committee realizes that they are a part of this. It's not going to get cleaned up by itself. They have to participate in it. I hope that makes sense, because that's all that I can come up with as far as I am praying to that spirit that's within all of us. That's within everything. It's not a person. It is personified. It acts like a person because it responds. And that's the other thing. We don't realize that it responds to us. If I don't believe that it's responding to me, why should I pray? Why should I pray? I wish I had some water someplace. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks. How does it respond? Omniscience? Okay. Scientia. Okay. Scientia means knowledge. It's a Latin word for knowledge. Okay. So it's all knowing. All knowing. All knowledge is within everything. I know everything. That's why we can sit up here as a practitioner or even, as a layperson and sit there and say, I know. I know that God is inside me. I know that I'm a part of it. I always felt when I wasn't, unless I really try, I always felt like I was apart from. Right? I was apart from. But knowing that God is all there is and God's inside me, God's outside me, God is everywhere. I feel like I'm part of, and I have to nurture that feeling. I can't just go about my day and go get tied up in the fact that I have this lack. How can I have lack when I am all there is? This is not, how can I sit there and I say, on the way out of here, Gail and I joke around all the time and everything like this. And because of all this stuff, I'm kind of lost, if you can't tell that already. I get lost in what I'm thinking of and what I'm doing because I'm afraid. I'm afraid you all aren't going to understand me. I'm afraid of this and I'm afraid of that. Well, that's my little self inside me talking to me. Because I know this stuff, but I'm afraid I can't communicate to you. I get scared. I feel small. And so I have to get back into there were 4 of us in the back of this room here this morning, right before the service, and we pray each other in. So it was my turn this morning to be in the barrel, right? And we're back there, and Drew started off, and he talked about, we were praying for each other, and we were knowing the truth. We were knowing that we were one with the universe, and that this service was going to be beautiful, and I was going to remember everything. And I was going to, and they were encouraging me because I'm so new at this stuff. I have to sit up here with my paper or keep my head on straight, things like that. But it's okay. It's okay just to be myself and to be who I am. Yes. Because I know that the words they said back there, I know that this stuff is true. And that's the only thing that keeps me from blowing my brains out. And those of you who have heard my story before know that that's true. I was, for those of you who haven't, I was close to committing suicide, blowing my brains out as I ever could, laying on my living room floor, listening to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, until I realized, oops, wrong way, that I'm inside that circle. I am part of all there is. The universe, if we sit there and say, what's the definition of the universe? The universe is all it is, right? What's the definition of God? We say God is all there is. It's the universe. It's everything. It's where I am. I am here, and right now. Drew said it this morning. There is no other place than right here and right now. There is in this relative world. There is Seattle and there's Charlotte, North Carolina, where my kids are. That's in the relative world. That's the reality that we all live in every day. But there's another world, the world of oneness, where everything is one. This world right here. It takes, for there to be space, it takes 2. But this is the world of oneness. There is no time. There is no space. Charlotte is right here and right now. My kids are with me right here and right now. My parents are with me right here and right now. That's the truth. That's the reality we live in. Or that's not that's the real reality. We live in the pseudo reality when we're, living in our little ego self. When I'm coming from, my gosh, do I look right? Do I feel right? Do I talk right? Can I, is my fly unzipped? Who knows? Who knows what I'm afraid of? Right? I don't believe I said that. I don't believe I said that. But it's the truth. It's you look at a dog. Dog doesn't sit there and say, well, is my tail on straight? He doesn't. He's in the moment. It's right here and right now. The only thing that matters is that my core touches your core. My heart touches your heart touches my heart. That's called unity. There's another word for that. You know what another word for that is? Love. Love. Love is not a feeling. I mean, that's what happens when we recognize love. But the feeling itself isn't love. We mistake that. You know what a feeling is? Or you know what love really is? The fact that you and I are one. It's a fact. Love is a fact. It's not something that we have to make happen. It's not something that we have to do anything about it. It's just a fact. You and I, Drew, Brian, Aaron, we are one. You are me. I am nothing without you. Look at that. Without you, you're in that circle, and I'm in that circle, and we're in love. And if one of us leaves the circle, what's left? There isn't anything. That circle disappears. If two people are in that circle and one leaves, they disappear. Everybody disappears. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. Anyway, go on with this stuff. Does it respond? Okay? Once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. Ralph Waldo Emerson. He's a lot smarter than me. You know, he has it all together. I mean, he knows it. Another person knows it. Buddha. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. It's our thinking. It is founded on our thoughts. It's made up of our thoughts. All that we are. In other words, all that there is made up of thoughts. This is all thought right here that we see. That's Buddha. A lot smarter than me. James Allen, as a man thinketh, and in his heart, so is he. Same thing. James Allen, by the way, is one of the original New Thought people. He wrote a book called As a Man Thinketh, which is taken out from a quote from the Bible out of Proverbs. The Bible says it too. It says the same thing. You know, probably the Quran. I've never read the Quran, but Buddha says it, so it's in Buddhism. There you go. What happens when we think? We become. I think, I am conscious. I dance. Amazing. I think, therefore I am. If I'm not conscious, if I don't think, I don't exist. Thought, everything that's here is thought. We are a thought in God. That's what that means. God thinks, and it is. It says in the Bible, where I hear all the time, it says, God speaks and the world is. You've ever thought, you're thinking about the Big Bang. I don't know how many think about the Big Bang, but I think about it all the time. Did you ever think what there was before the Big Bang? There was nothing. What was it that went bang? That's another one of those questions that I ask myself all the time. What was it that went bang? Well, my answer is there's potential. There's power, potence. God is all there is. What is it? Omnipotence. That's power. Power is potential, potency. That idea went bang and exploded. What did it explode into? This chair, Marge, Lisa, me, Drew, and it's all here. God thinks, bang, and it is. I speak, and it is. I think, and it is. What we think about, we become. We are what we repeatedly do. That's Aristotle. A man is the sum of his actions, what he has done, of what he can do nothing else. A man is the sum of his actions, of what he has done, of what he can do, and nothing else. There is a poem, I can go back up here now. Mystics, William James. Has anybody heard of William James before? Wrote a poem called The Auguries of Innocence. And it's just the first stanza. I've thought about this all the time. To see a world in a grain of sand, and heaven in a wildflower, to hold infinity in your hand and eternity in an hour. What that's saying is that you and I are God. In it we live, move, and have our being. I look at a grain of sand, okay, and see a world. I look at a grain of sand, a small little speck, and see a world, see everything, see all that is. And heaven in a wildflower, to hold eternity in your hand, or infinity in your hand, and eternity in an hour. Eternity is the same thing as an hour. So, two things, the smallest little thing and the biggest little thing. It's the same thing. An individual is the whole thing. That's the mystical thing of you and I are one. God and I are one. Prayer is thinking positively. But I can't just think positively. I sit there and I have a thought and I become something. Becoming is an action word. My thoughts create who I am. My prayers become who I am. And that's what I mean by prayer is an active action word. I can't think without something happening. You can't think without something happening. The question is, what are we thinking? What are you thinking about, me? Or are we thinking about the homeless guy out on the street? And I think, and if I'm just thinking about me and thinking I'm myself, I can't give anything. I just can't do anything. I'll tell you a story that happened to me real quick. I got to thinking last time I was up here talking, and I said something, and Drew picked up on it, and he said, I love you, pass it on. I love you, pass it on. And that I had said that first, and Drew picked up on it, and he said it at the end, and he said basically that a mantra. I got to thinking about that, thinking hard about it. This is a couple of weeks before Christmas or something like that. And I was listening to Marianne Williamson, who does the Course in Miracles. And she had a statement that she said, I'll show you how the universe responds. She says, we can't keep anything until we first give it away. And I said, I just hit me like a ton of bricks when I heard this. And I started praying on it, I started thinking on it just a couple of days before Christmas. And I went, you know, that's my life. That's what I do. That's what I am growing into, is to think of the ways that I can serve. Think of the ways that I can participate. Think of the ways that I can help somebody else grow. In other words, think of ways that I can pass on God's love, because that's what we're doing. Every time we hold the door for somebody, we're doing something. We're being of service to them. And that's really God doing it, because we are God. And I said, yeah, that is it. So this Christmas morning, I got up, Gil and I got up, and we weren't going to come in or anything like this. And we said, well, let's watch a movie. And she said, what movie do you like to watch? And I said, well, I like Christmas Story. I like any of the Scrooge stories. And I like It's a Wonderful Life. How many of you have seen Wonderful Life before? Everybody's seen The Wonderful Life before. I've seen it like 6 times, right? I'm sitting there and I'm going, well, let's watch A Wonderful Life. She says, okay, so we turn on Wonderful Life. And you know the part when George Bailey's father had died and he goes in to confront Potter, okay, with all this stuff? And he's sitting there saying, Mr. Potter this and Mr. Potter that about these people that are, you're robbing the people and everything like this. And on the time, there's a picture of George's husband or father on the wall. Mr. Bailey, the guy who founded the thing. And you know what was underneath his picture? There was a sign that said, you can't give anything away until you have it yourself. Or you can't keep anything until you give it away. The exact same thing that I heard from Marianne Williamson. And not only was it the exact same thing, it was on a sign. It was on a sign. And I hit pause and I went, holy crap. The universe is talking to me. The universe is talking to me because this movie is part of the universe. Somehow, some way, that spirit, that intelligence out there, omniscience, divine intelligence. That's what somebody asked, what's omniscience mean? Divine intelligence, that's another way of saying that. That omniscience spoke to me, that divine intelligence that knows everything. Here's what I'm thinking, here's what I'm talking about, and speaks to me. I have to sit there and nourish that. I have to. That's the reason for we have classes here. That's the reason we have circles here. That's the reason that we have groups that we come to and participate in. Here's the plug. On the 30th, a friend of mine, a mentor of mine, the guy that taught my first practitioner's class, Eugene Holden, who still writes the affirmations for Science of Mind magazine, was a member, and he may have even led the World Council of Prayer for 10 years. He's going to be giving us a workshop here. 2-3 hour workshop. I don't even think it's 2, I think it's 2.5 hours. And he's going to tell us essentially, or show us, or demonstrate how we can communicate with the other, with this, right here and right now. And it's simple. It's so simple. And that's the way, it's how we should be. You ever heard that thing, pray without ceasing? What that means to me is that I should be thinking positively, constantly. Every thought I have needs to be a positive thought. So this course, or not course, this workshop will tell us how to think, how to pray, because every thought we have is a prayer. Because that omniscience that's out there hears every thought we do. Because it is it. It hears itself. Because we are part of it. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you will take the 2.5 hours. It's free. If you want to donate something, that's fine. You know, some people can only give $5. Some people are fortunate enough to give $100. Most everybody can give $20, $25, but that's up to you, whatever. That's not the point. The point is, it's another way for us to participate and become a part of, and to expand our being. I gave you a poem before, And I used to write poems when I first discovered this, and they ain't gonna be published, I guarantee you that. But they were from my heart. And here's one I wrote probably 30 years ago, and I thought about it with writing this thing. There is no up without a down. There is no country without a town. There is no in without an out. There is no faith without a doubt. There is no wrong without a right. There is no day without a night. There is no false without a true. And there is no me without a you. I love you. Pass it on. Thank you. Got to remember that next time.
I just finished writing this song last week. It's about manifesting your own destiny. In a prison of love, sanctuary, I don't want to mention his name, but he turned on the dime one February and never looked back again. Just like the parade, I'm begging for mercy, but nobody answers the door. Nobody cares, nobody listens, they don't want to know anymore. Don't want to hear it, they're tired of the tears. So on your life with a heart full of spears. I can't lay down and die. So fly away, butterfly. Fly away, butterfly. at a cafe in Paris, at a table for two. I dine alone and I wonder of you. I miss you and loved you. What more can I say? This butterfly's flying away. There's no denying the stars are aligning. This butterfly's flying away. This butterfly's flying away. This butterfly's flying away. Flying away. Flying away.
Writer, could you just please come forward? Let's make our prayer today, knowing the fact that you can't keep anything until you give it away. So this is our practice generosity to understand that practice. So we say this prayer together. We say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so it is.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Benny, and thank you, Sunny Joe. And Steve, thank you so much for a powerful talk today. And if some of the things didn't quite make sense, and if God word was too much for you, come and take the foundations class, because we will help build that foundation for you. In my foundations class, I wrote over 200 words for the word God. You know, because God can just be good orderly direction or good outdoors. Right? And as American Indian woman, I understand being one. Being one. So let's close our eyes and just end this beautiful service with just knowing that all is well. Knowing that there are times in our lives that we're going to have challenges. But those challenges may be turned into joy inside. Because there's so many people that can help journey with you through those times. And I know that to be true, not only for myself, but each and every one of you. Because it's in us, around us, and through us at all times. I'm so very grateful for this time, and I'm so very grateful for the words that were spoken and the music that I heard today. And I'm going to release these words into the beautiful, intelligent universe, knowing that they will not come back because they are already done and completed. So with that, I say, and let us say, and so it is.
So let's sing, release, and let go. Remember, you can't keep what you haven't given away. Go give it away.